Sitting with someone who has panic attack disorder. And as the person was talking, I'm saying, well, what do you have in your life to be afraid of? Nothing. This person's life, this person has, financial abundance, beautiful children, a really nice husband, everything anybody could ever want, and she has panic attack. Oh, and she's really talented. So I explained to her that in her creative work, she's sort of awakening parts of herself which could be energetic. There's a lot of different ways to talk about it, but the main thing is that there are parts of us that we wake up as we do our work, and it takes time for those parts of us that we're waking up to get integrated. As we go along in our days, our feelings, the feelings that we have, whether they be attraction or aversion or anger or fear, the feelings that we have are like transistors or circuit breakers, because our energy will be going along and we hit a feeling. And what happens when we hit that feeling? Our energy is redirected one way or another. Depending on the feeling, our energy gets redirected. And there's no rationale behind it really whatsoever. So much of the time, we do not question the feelings that we experience. We just allow those feelings to redirect our energy. And more importantly, we don't stand up to those feelings. Like this person I was talking to, this fear somewhere in there rises up in her. It's really an energy, and every energy is really a resource. But this energy comes up and it's not well integrated into her system, and so it starts knocking around, getting some kind of, strong vibration going, and kicks in her adrenals, and immediately she has a fear response because the mind is a threat recognition mechanism. And so everything that we don't immediately have a label for is something to be afraid of until we can think of a label for it. Or until it proves not to be a threat. But if there is no label for it, then it's going to be enduringly a threat. And instead of looking at this feeling and saying, I have no reason to be afraid, and then standing up to it and beginning to recognize, respond to, channel that energy within ourselves to the depth that allows it to be fully integrated and allows us, rather than being reactive to all the feelings that we have, to begin to become strong enough to observe our feelings and recognize when our feelings are actually inappropriate to our circumstance and not let them redirect us. We practice every day to be able to experience and acknowledge all these different dimensions of feeling without ever losing our center, without ever being scattered by our feelings or spun by our feelings. We practice every day to be able to engage all the energies that exist within us and in our environment and to be able to harmonize ourselves in those energies and genuinely flow in them. So that, every day we're taking in our life experience and being nourished by it, and every day growing clearer and stronger, rather than every day being walked around the block like a chihuahua on a leash by our own feelings, which is literally the experience that most people have. Most people are just totally walked around the block every single day by their feelings, which, for the most part, are stupid. The best we can say of most of it is most people's response to all of these feelings and emotions is they are lacking in perspective. When you are growing, you are breaking down all of the tensions in you, and I'm breaking down all the tensions in me that become just like a string on a guitar. Add tension, boom, get different feelings. The different feelings that we have are really reactions to the input coming in us, or what is some energy that is being released inside us, or both, and playing on all the tensions that we are. And if we're not playing our own instrument, we're being played, aren't we? There is very little that we can control in our life. Very little. But the one thing you can control is your own energy. And it's much easier said than done. It takes work. The Buddha said life is suffering. I like to think, actually life is work, unless we don't do the work, and then life is definitely suffering. But doing the work, we have the potential to release tensions and allow our creative energy to flow to a depth within ourselves in which we can hold, a very big space of love and compassion, in which unimaginable possibility becomes available to us on a daily basis, and the fundamental beauty of our own essence is expressed throughout the whole field of our life in all of the relationships that we have. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it, because easy is popular. This isn't easy. This is for those people who have chosen to become awakened. So as you go through your day being played by your feelings, maybe take, half an hour out to get in touch with a deeper place within yourself and start to unwind some of the tensions around which you are being played. That simple effort of getting in touch with your own heart and holding the awareness of your own heart long enough that you feel in your chest that your heart is breathing on its own, and it feels wonderful, which doesn't take a whole long period of time. I mean, in the beginning, it might take you a while to get established in that experience. But once you do, it's really unbelievably simple. But most of us walk around, not anybody in this room, but most of humanity walks around so fucking stuck in their heads, it is unbelievable. And you know what that does? That does nothing at all. We are just walking around perpetuating all the fears and the concomitant angers and the included sadnesses and the disappointments of our ancestors. You know, we walk around in this all day long when if we just stopped for like 20 minutes and got in touch with our breath and our body and felt our heart, all of that would start to let go, and we would start to, the energy of who we really are would start to rise up within ourselves and express itself in our day. This is not rocket science. And the clarity and the ease and the sweetness and the joy that you experience is really the whole point of why you were born and what the hell you're supposed to be doing here. And, you know, we have been blessed and fortunate enough to at least been, you know, informed of this. And now the rest is up to you. What the hell are you going to do with it? Stop being jerked around by your feelings and your fears. Put on your big boy and your big girl pants and get yourselves in your guts and start to stand up to yourself, to all this bullshit that you carry around inside you. All these tensions, you know, have nothing to do with our present ever. It's always us in a fight with somebody or maybe a bunch of people in our past. Or, you know, we're planning a fight in our future. None of it has anything to do with anything. It is all just the drama that we use to distract ourselves from growing. You know, human life is precious, and rebirth is, you know, being reborn is not guaranteed for anybody. It's only when we are really truly gathering the energy of our everyday life and lifting our spirits every day that rebirth becomes, you know, our destiny. And so take the opportunity that this human life provides you to really grow and discover something wonderful about yourself that probably will shock the hell out of you, because we all are so busy walking around in this soup of negative feedback. And you know, of course, my attitude is, if you're here, you must be amazing. And so I really hope you figure that out and begin to live in it. Namaste to you all.